We do want to focus our efforts right now on New Orleans, Louisiana. Remember those 10 escaped inmates? We have now learned that I believe the final one has been taken back into custody. Okay, the penultimate one, should I say. You see there Attorney General Liz Murrill saying this: Antoine Massey has finally been recaptured in the Holly Grove area of New Orleans. He will now face additional charges for his role in the escape, and I'll ensure that he will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law there, as you can see. Also, she goes on to say, great work by all our law enforcement partners. So here it is. One of the final 2 escaped inmates has been captured in New Orleans. Now remember, that means one more on the run. And that suspect on the run has been on the run for what? Almost 2 months' time as we brought you this story from the very beginning there in New Orleans. We're listening to law enforcement officials there announce the arrest. Let's watch.
See, one of the escapees in custody. And I want to thank our partners we have been a team this whole time. But Antoine Massey was taken in custody in the city of New Orleans in the 3rd District. He was actually walked out of a home peacefully at 9414 Strolets, and he peacefully gave up to law enforcement who had surrounded the house. I'm going to have the sheriff at the end speak to the event, because it is the sheriff herself who got the tip from a citizen, and that alone speaks volumes to her legitimacy of relationships that matter. So when the community believes and trusts their police departments and their law enforcement agencies, they work cooperatively. And so she will speak directly to that situation. I want to thank all of our partners who are present, because truly they were all out there as a team. So from ATF to FBI to our own police department, our violent offender warrant squad, our own violent crimes team that is a specialty team that we call VCATE, of course, our partners in the state police, obviously our partners with the sheriff and the Orleans Sheriff's Office, and also our U.S. Marshal is going to speak to you in a minute. I know HSI is present. And also Jefferson Parish has always been a great partner to us. So many, many thanks to you. We still have one more. We have Groves. And so Groves knows that we are going to capture you. You will be taken into custody, but you still have the option to peacefully turn yourself in. And we will make an appeal to you to do so. All of these captures have been able to be done peacefully, and that is also the end of the game. We don't want anyone hurt, not our own officers, and certainly not Mr. Groves. So the opportunity is there at any time to turn yourself in, and as I had spoken to the fact a couple of weeks ago, we do have the public defender is ready to meet you and to be with you from the very moment you choose to turn yourself in. And then Darlene, who's the face of Crime Stoppers, will also have the opportunity to make her appeal and to give the Crime Stoppers number. So with that, I am going to go ahead and turn this over to our U.S. Marshal for our area. This is going to be Chief Walter Ivy. And then after Chief Ivy, I know that Director Harper will call people to the podium. And then probably after him will be from our Colonel Robert Hodges. So Chief Ivy, please come to the podium and share with you about the event of today.
Good afternoon. I'm Walter Martin. I'm the Chief Deputy U.S. Marshal here in New Orleans, the Eastern District of Louisiana. Thank you all for coming. I want to start by thanking the men and women who have been working tirelessly to not only arrest Mr. Massey, but the previous fugitives, as well as those that have helped in Mr. Massey and the others evade the capture and who have brought the others into custody. And I also want to thank the men and women who are working hard to find Mr. Groves. They will continue to work hard. As the chief said, we'd appreciate if Mr. Groves turns himself in, but at the same time, we're not going to stop. We're going to continue on, and just like we found Mr. Massey today, we will find Mr. Groves. We'll continue our efforts. We were thankful, too, that Mr. Massey came out and there was no problems today. He was arrested around 3:30 this afternoon here in New Orleans.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Colonel Hodges.
Good evening, everyone. Colonel Robert Hodges, Superintendent, Louisiana State Police. As everyone knows, today marks the 6th week of the escape, and it's through the partnership of the men and women and the leaders behind me and those who are not present but still working, as Chief IV stated, that we owe the credit to. This is truly has been from day one a joint operation. Although led by Louisiana State Police, our federal partners, the FBI, the ATF, Homeland Security Investigations, the U.S. Marshals, Secret Service, as well as our local partners, New Orleans Police Department, the Orleans Sheriff's Office, the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, and our other state agencies, probation and parole, many of those, as well as our Department of Corrections. Everyone has really given an incredible amount of resources. It's through our resilience and, more importantly, our collaboration is why we were able to bring Mr. Massey into custody today. But let's not lose sight. One still remains Derrick Groves, and without the public's help, I appeal to everyone to please reach out, contact Crime Stoppers, contact the ATF or the FBI. The collective reward remains at $50,000 for that fugitive, and it's imperative for the safety of this community and all of Louisiana that you reach out to us. Those who have continued to help and aid, which includes Antoine Massey, those will also be brought to justice. As I've said previously, there are consequences for your actions. And when you help and aid and assist those to remain at large as a risk to the community, you will be charged accordingly. We look forward to the opportunity in the day when Mr. Groves is taken into custody. We would like it to be peacefully. We encourage him and anyone who knows him to reach out to any of the agencies that you see here. You can remain anonymous, but we need your help. And collectively, we will not rest, even if it takes another 6 days or another 6 weeks, until the last fugitive is in custody. Thank you.
Okay. HSI representative.
So I just want to, I guess, reiterate our commitment to our partners here, to public safety here, for the community in New Orleans. We're all very excited that Antoine Massey's in custody now, and we'll continue working alongside each of you to ensure that we bring Groves to custody too. Thank you.
Sheriff Hutson.
Okay, good afternoon. I am grateful to stand here with our law enforcement partners. Chief Kirkpatrick and I shared a moment this afternoon when she called me to talk about the press conference. Just about the relief about having Antoine Massey into custody. 9 of 10 escapees, we've got 1 more to go. Like all of our law enforcement partners, I call on Derrick Groves to do the right thing and turn himself in. This is a major step forward in our efforts to restore order and accountability after this serious incident. I want to thank our community for reaching out to me personally to provide the information directly leading to Antoine Massey's capture. As soon as I received this information, I reached out to our detectives who are a liaison to the state police, the Attorney General, the NOPD, and the United States Marshals Task Force. They've set the actions in motion, which led to his capture. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to all of the folks up here and our partners up here. I have to give a special thanks to our deputies, of course, who coordinated and worked together to make this happen. But we're grateful to this community, as both Chief and the Colonel both said. Together, we made this happen, and I'm grateful. I also want our community to know that OPSO continues to harden and modernize the facility. That is well underway. We're installing new razor wire, tightening physical barriers, upgrading locking mechanisms. These all play an important role in the safety of our residents, staff, and the entire community. These are just the first steps in a very urgent plan, and we can't do it alone, and we call on all of our partners to help make sure that the investment needed here is done. So again, thank you all for your hard work and your partnership, and we look forward to getting Mr. Groves in custody.
Okay. We're going to take some questions. Shannon, we'll start with you.
Hi, sorry, I'm back here and I'm short. So in the Holly Grove area, we were able to talk to the owner of the property who said it was an Airbnb. Do we know at this point, was he assisted in renting that Airbnb?
So let's have the colonel speak to that.
So right now, obviously, we're still in, questioning Mr. Massey and others who were aiding and assisting him, and we don't have any comment regarding specific details, but it's pretty obvious over the last 6 weeks to remain a fugitive that long. He had assistance, he had help. Whether or not it was someone helped him with the Airbnb, we would have to think yes, but who and all those things will be determined later. And I would just encourage the public, you think you're helping your family members and your friends, but you're not. You're putting everyone else at risk for selfish reasons, and please do not continue to do that with our remaining fugitive, Derrick Groves, and those who assisted Mr. Massey will have consequences for their actions.
Can y'all take us through the timeline of how long it was from when you got the skip to when he was recaptured?
Okay, so I think, Sheriff, if you can do the timeline and then kick in here, because it occurred in our city, obviously, so please go ahead and explain how you got the clip.
I'm not going to get into the details of how I got it. Of course, we don't. This is, we're grateful to our partners at Crime Stoppers where you can be anonymous in being able to come forward. But this all started between 10 and 11 this morning, culminating in his arrest at 3:30.
So as far as the special operations and the U.S. Marshals, I happened to be at the Special Operations Division complex when they were getting ready to move to that location. So I would say it took no more than an hour from them being activated to his capture.
Channel 6.
With Derrick Groves still at large and all the other inmates captured, does it still indicate that Groves orchestrator was the ringleader of the original escape?
I would just say that Groves, along with the other 9, all had help. And we know that, and they continue to have help. And we'll just leave it at that. As far as who was the leader in the escape, I think they all 10 wanted to get out on their own. And they would do anything to get out. And whatever that led to is where we are today. But once again, every one of them had some type of assistance throughout the process, especially once they left the facility.
26.
I think the question now that everybody's really wanting to know now is, where's Groves? Do we have a lead on his location now? Do we have at least a target on him? Or is it a shot in the dark at this point?
Look, just as we said in previous conferences, we have many investigative tools and technology and a lot of leads that come in. All the tips that the public brings to us are investigated to the fullest. Sometimes we think we're incredibly close, and then we get to a residence, an apartment, a condominium, or a home, and they've just moved because they have help. We're still confident, just as we were about 2 or 3 weeks ago when we had a conference when we were at 8, and we went from 5 to, and then 3 on, it was Memorial Day, if y'all recall, 1 in Baton Rouge and 2 in Texas. We still believe today that we will find these, and it's due to the resilience of law enforcement. It's a lot of good police work coupled with investigative tools and technology and the state-of-the-art equipment that we use to help us. And, we can't do it alone. We need the court's help. I failed to mention earlier, our Eastern District of Louisiana, our U.S. Attorney's Office is very helpful to us, as well as all our judicial districts in and around the state that provide us the assistance and grant and honor our requests for state or federal warrants, which helps further these cases. They take time, they take patience, and we just ask the public to continue to trust law enforcement, and then we will eventually locate Mr. Groves.
Okay. Thank you all for coming out. We appreciate
Wait,
it.
I have one more question.
Okay, we'll wrap it up.
Reese, I have a question. Did the tip come directly to the sheriff, or did it come through Crime Stoppers? I'm sorry, can we just clarify that a little bit?
Yeah, it came directly to me.
Okay, so did they just call you up?
I'm not going to give any information about that.
Did they get the $50,000?
I'm sorry?
Did they get the $50,000 reward?
I'm not involved in.
Look, just so everybody understands, the reward remains $50,000. Of course, it's a combination through Crime Stoppers, through ATF and FBI. And certainly if they reach out to one of those hotlines, those tip lines, they are eligible for that reward. But I don't want to go into the details. I don't think we just standing right there outside the residence and handing out a check. It remains anonymous, and Crime Stoppers does an incredible job. Darlene and her team, and all those who take the calls round the clock. And it is available. I don't know, the process, but I'm certain in days to come, if they had called Crime Stoppers, but I'm gonna leave it to Darlene. Come on.
Darlene, you can share the number with people, because we are vetting every tip through Crime Stoppers. And it's about how many now?
We've had over probably now 1,200 original tips and several thousand that are follow-ups. Yeah. And I can only speak to the fact that we did receive a tip today, which I understood led to the arrest of Mr. Massey. So we'll be working with our partners, the U.S. Marshals, and on the Crime Stoppers portion. And if that is the qualifying tip, again, our tips are anonymous, so we don't know who they might have spoke to or where they came from. It is an anonymous tip, and we don't ask those questions. As far as the FBI's reward process, we will certainly point them to that direction so that they can then work through that process for the additional $20,000. And it's the number, it's 822-1111, or go online to crimestoppersgno.org. And yes, we encourage anyone with information on Mr. Groves. Y'all have been calling. We're getting tips daily on the two inmates. Continue. And thank you to law enforcement. Yeah. Incredible work.
$50,000 is life-changing for a lot of people. It'd be life-changing for me. So let's make sure that people understand that. You have information, it leads to an arrest like today. That's $50,000 minimum that we've already committed to, okay?
Go ahead. Yeah, and can you speak a little bit more to those Instagram posts that Massey allegedly made? Was that him making the post? Was that someone else? Will those lead to any arrests?
Go ahead and speak to it. It's still under investigation.
Look, we have a lot of posts, a lot of social media, as y'all know, and some things are dated. Everything that we see online, our Fusion Center, our law enforcement partners, it's vetted, it's collaborated. But keep in mind, by the time you see it, someone else has already seen it. You don't know the exact time and date. You don't, but we do. And so just like when they move from home to home or neighborhood to neighborhood throughout the city or throughout the state, they're constantly moving. So it's actionable intelligence, and it's only good for a short amount of time. So to answer your question, we confirm all of the social media posts, regardless of the platform. We utilize that as an investigative lead, and then if we can move further that, we do. And I think sometimes it helps us, but sometimes it really just excites the public, and maybe it's a good piece for you all. But I just want to close with this. I know it's going to be asked, but I'll go ahead and voice it to you all. Mr. Massey, once we finish processing him and bringing him back to the Orleans Parish Jail and doing the booking, he will be relocated to the Angola, to our state prison, and he'll be flown there sometime later this evening. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you.
Let's make a hole over here, please.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so big breaking news out of New Orleans as the penultimate escaped inmate has been captured. His name, Antoine Massey. Remember, all 10 of these inmates escaped there from the Orleans Parish Jail complex on May 16th. What is it, June 27th there? So 6 weeks on the lam for Antoine Massey. We heard there that an anonymous tip came in to the tip line with information regarding the whereabouts of Massey. That tip came in today, and they took him into custody today here. I want to put up the photo of some of law enforcement officials taking Massey into custody. This was posted by Louisiana State Attorney General Liz Murrill, the Republican. And so, like I said, one more. Derrick Groves still out there. One of the questions was, you heard there, what leads, if any, are out there that law enforcement is tracking down to bring Derrick Groves back into custody? You see them all. Now 9 of them recaptured. One, though, still missing, Derrick Groves. So this is a story we're going to continue to follow. It may have kind of slipped off your radar, so to speak. It definitely slipped off mine as we just got this press conference. We brought you live back out there to the New Orleans skyline over the Big Easy. You see there the Caesars Superdome where the Saints play. So this story picking back up into our consciousness here on Live Now, as now one escaped inmate remains. And so if we get any more details, any more info, any more reporting on the progress of bringing him back into custody, Derrick Groves. Remember, all 10 of these individuals are extremely dangerous. They were convicted of very serious crimes. And you heard there from law enforcement, they believe all 10 of them, while out from prison after they escaped, got help in some capacity, in some fashion. Let's go out now to this from Fox 8 in New Orleans, and you see there Derrick Groves in the middle, the only one that has not been brought back into custody just yet. You remember that incredible surveillance camera video of all those inmates kind of bum rushing out of the prison complex, 10 of them, and now one remains there. So breaking news here on this Friday. We are going to continue, though. Let's take our final commercial break of this hour. Still, though, I want to get into more of these Supreme Court rulings and opinions that came down today. We'll be getting into another one of them at the top of the next hour. But like I said, this is a busy Friday. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you after the break.